All right, everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of a soapbox. It's going to be a little bit of a tangential video, but I did kind of create some graphics to go over this. But it's going to be of value, just mind you. The reason I really want to talk about this is because I watched this ruining so many people's business. It ruined my own business for years. Like I spent 3+ years spinning my wheels, not getting results, maybe getting minimal results, and then wondering why all these other people were having a bunch of success, and I wasn't. And this is literally the very reason why. And I can say that confidently because the year that I stopped doing this is the year that I went from minimal results to over 6 figures as an affiliate. So let's dive in. It might be a bit of a tangential video, but I think it's a very powerful one to watch. And especially if you're currently doing this, you're potentially thinking about an online business, or potentially you're stuck in stagnant in a potential, monetary thing monthly. This could definitely fix a lot of your problems. So let's dive in. So how most folks are running their business, right? They start here, they get super excited about a new thing. They quickly start implementing, talking about it on socials. They hit a roadblock, it doesn't go viral or make as many sales as they thought. And then they start looking for a new opportunity. And they just kind of go in this circle over and over and over again. The number of times that I've personally done this, and I've watched students do this, is I literally cannot count. And the problem that this really creates is you end up just doing that. You end up literally just going in circles, right? And you do this new thing. You start implementing it. You start talking about it. You hit a roadblock, and you don't make $1 million in 15 minutes. And then you start looking for a new opportunity that's easier, quicker, is going to fix your problems. Whereas the thing isn't the problem. It's you. It's usually you. It's the content. It's the type of attention you're bringing in that is the actual problem, not the process, not the model, not the thing you're doing that is actually the problem, right? And this is one of the most dangerous spots that most people live in. So why is it dangerous? Every time we start something new, it feels like we're progressing our business. Like every investment we make, every course we buy, every new process we do, it feels like we're progressing the business. Now there is some merit to that, but at the end of the day, if you've just bought something and then you go buy something new and now you're doing a different process, now you're doing a different model, you're just going to end up chasing your own tail and staying stuck. That's a very real thing. 2, it becomes a breeding ground to cannibalize your audience. Most people don't even think about this. Don't even conceptualize this part of it. But let's say you've been creating content for the last 6 months, right? And you've been talking about this process, this model, this thing. Maybe you've been talking shit about one process in business. And now all of a sudden you start talking about how this is the coolest thing since sliced bread. How do you think your audience is going to feel if you are contradicting yourself in your content? Right? You're going to have a very hard time selling product to your audience, because that's like me coming into business. And for the last 2 years, we've been talking about removing sales calls from your business, and me going and starting to create content about booking your calendar out with calls. My audience is going to be extremely confused. They're going to be like, well, what about all the shit that you just been talking about for the last 2 years? Is that just a bunch of BS? Is that a bunch of this? Is that a bunch of that? And people do this so often, it's not even funny. I watch people do this daily, right? Taking shots at done-for-you plug-and-play products one day and then talking about how done-for-you plug-and-play products are the coolest thing ever since the next day. And that's not to say you have to do one or the other, but if you're leaning into a certain process or a model, we need to stay in that process or model, right? You can't constantly contradict yourself in your content if you actually want to make consistent sales. Right. And if you are moving, let's say, from one style to another style, then that needs to become the core focus of everything for the next 6-12 months minimum, because you are going to face a lull. Your audience is going to dip. The responsiveness you're going to have from your audience is going to be it's going to be worse for a little while, because you've just spent all this time building this attention, awareness, momentum. And then you turn around and you're doing something different. You're going to have to build a new audience. You're going to have to get your audience up to speed, etc. Okay. Number 3, you're more than likely going to have the same exact problems when you pivot. I've watched this happen a lot. A lot of people burn down their businesses because they're getting resistance around price. Their audience is saying, hey, this program's too expensive. Hey, I don't have the finances to invest in this. It's not a product problem, it's a you problem. The messaging, the type of content you're using to attract the audience, what you're saying in your content, how you're saying it is going to fix this. But you changing your business because of resistance around price is doing nobody any favors, especially yourself. Because realistically, you're going to have the exact same problem after you switch, right? I remember we've had students tell us, hey, I kind of want to do a evergreen course and I want to sell this for $100 because I'm getting a lot of resistance around this other $100 thing. And it's like, and that's what I told them. I said, you're going to run into the exact same issue. If you're not consistently already selling the $100 offer right now and you're going to want to go sell a different new $100 offer, you're going to run into the exact same problem if we don't fix the front end problem, the front end issue that's pulling in lead flow, that's generating sales opportunities. If we don't fix that, you're not selling the either or $100 thing. But people will literally burn down their business because, folks aren't buying their product. And it's like, if they're not buying your product, there's a missing piece in the actual process of trying to sell that product. Okay. Number 4, it becomes it removes the ability to become a leader known for a very specific thing. Now, this is something a lot of people don't even think about in the earlier stages of business. But in the very beginning, it's more beneficial to go very micro with the type of thing that you solve. The micro type of problem that you're helping people with. Helping stay-at-home moms earn their first $100 via XYZ. Okay, and then we can always broaden out as we go. But if we're constantly burning down our business and changing models and changing processes, we're not going to give ourselves the ability to become known for a specific outcome, a specific process, a specific model, which then makes it harder to connect with your audience because you're less specific in the content, right? Like in 2020, when I was doing YouTube videos, blog posts, running ads, doing this, doing that, I was doing done for you plug and play affiliate marketing. I was doing personal branding. Like I was fucking all over the place, which meant my content and my messaging that I was using in my content was all over the place. Versus being very specific on one targeted thing, right? That's when my business kind of blew up, was when I removed all the noise, right? So this is a big one to think about, especially in the earlier stages. Like you want to become a leader of your own ecosystems, your own processes, your own models, your own things, because that's where the actual success is going to actually start coming from, because then you're going to become known for that type of thing, right? We've been talking about group growth and monetization for years in as many different lenses and ways and pieces of content that we can, right? It's not like, hey, we posted about group growth and monetization one time, we didn't get 100 comments. We're going to go talk about, something else. Like, no, like we have to build the attention and awareness around ourselves. So how we need to operate instead. Okay, I didn't want to just rub salt in your wound and talk about why this is a bad thing, but I want to actually give you some tactics and strategies and some feedback around what we need to actually be doing instead, right? First and foremost, we need to lean into you as the brand, you as the thing. Okay, you are the niche, you are the product, you are this. Because if we don't sell people on yourselves, nothing else ends up working, right? You are the brand, okay? You're not a billboard for somebody else's rebranded product or a billboard for an affiliate offer or a new program or anything like that. You are the business. We're in the game of helping people build personal brands. Okay? Pick a model, a mechanism, a process, and do not deviate for the next 6 to 12 months. And I know that sounds like a stretch. It might sound like a long time for a lot of people, but this is the thing I want to talk about. Like, people, you need to pick something and do not change. Okay? And the reason I want to reinforce that is because, like, a lot of people will constantly try to change what they're doing inside of their business instead of trying to make the thing that they picked in their business better, right? So for example, hey, I'm doing cold outreach, and I've sent out 15 messages, nobody responded, and I'm going to do something else. right? Versus like, hey, we picked cold outreach to generate leads, then we probably need to send 10,000 messages in the next 12 months, right? Like, we're not even giving ourselves the opportunity to get enough data to even figure out if the thing or how to change the thing we picked, right? Like, hey, I wrote an offer doc, I wrote a PDF, I wrote an offer for somebody, I sent it to 5 people, nobody bought. I'm gonna go change my offer now. Versus like, hey, let's tweak the offer, let's fix the offer, versus changing off to a different thing because you didn't get people to buy. That's where most people end up getting stuck, is they keep changing the thing. Hey, I'm utilizing group. I'm utilizing short form content to grow my group, and then I'm utilizing people in my group to talk to people in the DMs. Okay, well, I've talked to 20 people in the last 30 days, nobody bought, so now I'm gonna go try to sell all my offers through email. It's like, so many people constantly change the mechanism, so they don't even end up giving themselves enough time to build enough skill set or reps inside of the mechanism to even get good at it. Okay, like, there's a reason we've been doing the same thing for years. One, we've been doing the exact same thing since 2021 in our own business, but we've been constantly refining and optimizing and testing and tweaking inside of that mechanism. It's not just like, hey, we did this and it's good to go. No, it's a constant evolution and testing and tweaking of the actual process to try to make it better, right? Don't constantly replace the thing because it's not working as fast as you wanted. And I know this is a hard thing to think about. We have to do this, right? People who have a lot of success online don't constantly flop. They're not constantly jumping from, hey, one day I'm booking 300 calls and the next day I'm removing calls. And like, they're not constantly doing this in their own business, right? And I would say our results and our student results are proof in the pudding, right? We've been doing the very thing for years, right? That's not to say that we haven't changed or optimized or refined, but pick a model, pick a mechanism. This could be different for everybody, but do not deviate. Don't change the model or the mechanism you're using. Change inside of that model or mechanism, right? Refine it. Test different things inside of that actual process versus replacing the process, right? And that's the problem, is because most people will get stuck in this learning curve of learning a new model or a new process, then it doesn't end up working out, and then they're off to the next thing, and then they're just constantly finding a process and a model that works versus like, make that shit work, right? People told us we couldn't sell without calls. We processed thousands of payments without calls, right? Said we couldn't do it without fancy funnels and tech. We've done it without fancy funnels and tech. Said we couldn't do it without going viral. We've done it without going viral. Like, just pick your process and your model. Pick a singular monetization vehicle inside your process. Okay, it could be a digital product, affiliate offer, a course, or something of your own. Pick one, and that's it. All right, pick a product, one singular monetization process. And the reason I mention this is because the more we continuously add, the harder and harder it gets for people who are earlier on in business. Okay, we're playing around in this process, we're playing around in this model, this actual thing, and then we have 18 different offers. We're just going to confuse ourselves with, hey, what are we creating content about? What am I going to try to sell this person? We just create lack of clarity in our own business, which then bleeds over into everything that you do, right? We run a 7-figure business and we have 2 products to sell. That's it. That's all we're selling. We have 2 things. Right? Less is more, especially in the beginning. Like, pick one, and one that you would A, feel good about selling to people, and B, have preferably probably purchased yourself, so that way you actually know what's inside. But pick one monetization vehicle. This could be, a digital product, a course, affiliate. It doesn't matter, but just pick a thing, right? And only start to like look at other opportunities when you're already consistently selling offers, right? Like, most people want to continuously add new products, new offers, new things before they've ever even started selling the first one, right? You're going to run into the same exact problems if you're not doing this, right? Like, oh, I couldn't sell this, but now I'm going to go sell this. And then it's just like this vicious cycle of new shit, okay? Front load the content around the 3 things. These 3, 1, 2, 3. Front load the content around those three pieces. And the only thing that you need to do in business is find new angles, find new positions to get people into the ecosystem and product, right? Don't constantly move the goalpost. Don't constantly change the model or the process. Like, the only thing that you have to do is, like, once we've picked a thing, is we need to play around and test and optimize more angles. Like we've been talking about community growth, monetization in as many different lenses as possible for years. We continuously do it. I've done it on this video. I do it every day. Okay. It's not like we're constantly, oh, this piece of content didn't get 100 people in my group. Oh, I'm going to, oh, fuck groups. I'm done. I want to go do something else. Like, as an example, that's not what we're doing. Like, once we have our thing, the only game that we play is to find out how to get attention and awareness around getting people into that thing. That's it. Right? People seriously overcomplicate this game, or get in their own way, like I did for 3 years. Like I spun my wheels for 3 years. It's not an exaggeration. Tens of thousands of dollars invested in programs, and spent 3 years showing up very consistently every day in my business with minimal to zero results because of this shit. Right? I was constantly confused, going in circles, cannibalizing myself, contradicting myself, trying to do this and that and this and that. And I was like doing way too many fucking things to actually even get good at anything. So, last up, why will this fix most people's business? More often than not, folks are constantly moving the goalposts, the model, the process to even know if it's working. Right? If you've posted three videos and you didn't go viral, don't start looking at ways to do like business without being on video. You haven't even put in enough reps. Right? Or like, hey, I've been trying to sell offers via DM conversations, and I've talked to 30 people in the last 10 days, and all of them said no to my offer. Okay, well, go talk to 60. And I know this doesn't sound sexy, but this is literally what people end up doing. Like, hey, I need to change my business because I'm not getting new people into my world. I'm not getting new people into my inbox. I'm not getting new sales opportunities. Well, then the problem isn't the offer. It's literally the fact that you just said that you're not getting new people. You need new eyeballs, new attention. So then where does that mean? We need to go create more content. We need to go test different content styles to bring new people, right? The biggest problem is people build a consistent habit of doing the wrong stuff. And I did this. Like, look at my blog. I wrote 296,000 words on a blog. I was very consistent, but it wasn't working. But that's because I never changed or optimized or test inside of that thing. It was just show up just to show up. And when it isn't working, let me replace the entire business because it was broken. No, I was broken. I wasn't actually getting real feedback and pivoting my business based on what was actually going on. Okay, so like this is a big part of it. Like, don't constantly move the goalpost, move the offer, move the model or the process, because more often than not, we don't even give ourselves enough time to get enough data to even see if what we're doing is working or broken, or B, like, we don't actually refine inside of that arena itself. Okay, so like if you've talked to 100 people and every single person said no to your offer, then we probably need to look at A, the type of messaging that's pulling in those type of conversations, or B, tweak the offer. Don't change the offer, tweak it, right? Hey, they're all telling you no for the exact same reason. Well, can we include that? Oh, okay, well, I'm getting continuous objections around how much this thing costs. Okay, well, can we do a payment plan? Right? Can you run customs? Can you meet them where they're at? Like, there's so many different ways that we can not have to change what we're doing in business and actually start making sales. But most people just replace the thing instead of like fixing the thing. Okay, number 2, it will actually allow you to build skill, rep, and find a repeatable, proven framework of your own that you can use on repeat. This is a cool part to think about. This is how I basically figured out what we do in business was actually by accident, right? It was because I stopped doing all this extra stuff in business and got really fixated on one thing. I canceled my emails, I canceled my ClickFunnels accounts, I canceled, I stopped blogging, stopped doing consistent YouTube videos, and put my focus into one thing. And so that meant me as a business owner could spend more time doing things in that, testing different styles, testing different angles, testing different nuances. And then when I found something that worked really fucking well, that became a unique framework that I could use on repeat. And then I started teaching it, and then it started working for students. But it wouldn't have happened if I actually built skills and reps inside of the actual process that I was using. Okay. Most people, 3, this will fix it because most people are trying to do too many things and most don't have any impact on how easy or difficult sales will be, right? Building a new funnel, building a new email sequence, building a new opt-in page only matters if you're getting people to it. As an example, right? Oh, I just spent the last 90 days, getting ready to set up my group. Like, what do you mean? Or like, hey, I spent, you know, 6 weeks optimizing my Facebook profile. Like, none of that shit matters. Like, the only thing that matters is you creating more attention to yourself, and like that's what we need to spend more time on. Right? Don't or we'll spread ourselves super thin in hopes of making things better, but more often than not, it actually makes things harder. Right? Like, pick a platform, pick a model, a process, a mechanism, and then that's it. Like, hey, I'm gonna utilize short form video content to grow my group, and I'm gonna use my group to start conversations. And that's all I'm going to do. And then work backwards from, hey, people aren't coming into my group. Okay, well then we probably need to figure out what's broken on my short form video. Okay, I got a ton of people in my group, but none of them are actually like, starting conversations. Okay, well then let's tweak the content inside of the group. Right? It's not like this business isn't so black and white where you do one thing one time and it's just, done. Right? Anybody selling you on that dream is selling you on some BS. Number 4, compounds builds momentum so you can start to become known for that thing. Right? We've been talking about community growth, monetization for years, so people kind of know that, hey, we're the group guys. And we've been talking about removing sales calls and stuff in business for so long that people already know that we don't do Zoom calls. I literally get people sending me messages as jokes like, hey, send me your calendar link. I'm ready to book a call, because they know that we don't do them. But this is the part. People don't even play the game long enough to even become known for anything, especially when they start contradicting themselves in their messages, or there's just lack of congruency in their business over and over and over again. So that way they don't become known for anything, right? If you want smooth and easy sales, you got to start becoming known for something. And this could be your own thing over time. Hey, I help moms after, having babies lose their first 20 pounds. I help postpartum moms lose 15 pounds so that way they can look good by summer. Over time, you will become known for the person that helps new moms lose weight, right? But it's like, hey, 20 moms didn't send me a message, so now I'm going to go talk to dads. And now we're just flip-flopping our entire business because we're not getting results as fast as we thought we were going to. This keeps most people going in circles and stuff, okay? Number 5, it's congruent, meaning folks over time will start inquiring about offers / help will be closer to the point of being ready to buy because they already know why they're there, right? People are like, this is huge. This is a big one, this last one. I don't even know if people even think about congruency in their business. Like, I can scroll my feed and see it all over the place. Like, you have creator X who's talking about this, and then the next day they're contradicting themselves, and it's just constant. They're fighting themselves to just like desperately looking for an angle to get their audience to buy their products. And it's like, you're going to have a harder time actually converting your audience if you constantly do this versus a very congruent message, which it all comes back to this. It all comes back to these 2 things: picking a model, a mechanism, and not deviating. Most people aren't willing to do that, right? I've worked with clients who've literally changed their business 17 times in the last 6 months, and I wonder why they're not getting results. Like, why would you be getting results? You've literally burned down your business. You've constantly contradicted yourself in your content, and like, why would there be any momentum in the business? Okay, or they pick way too many monetization vehicles. Like, people, like, I come across stand stores with like 700 different products on there. Like, sure, there's more opportunity for you to make sales, but like, if we're not consistently selling the first one, don't add another link, right? And why is that relevant, right? Why is it relevant to the initial product? Like, are you just operating your business from how can I make the most amount of cash, or are you like, how can I actually help people generate results? Because helping them generate results does in turn actually create more opportunity to make sales. But like, why should they have to buy the next thing? What is the benefit of the next thing? It's not just because it's the thing, right? Like, this is a big part to it, but like, trying your best to stay congruent, right? We've been talking about group growth. We've been talking about anti-plug and play. We've been talking about real work. Those are things we've been including in our content for years, right? It's not like one day we're talking about, hey, we're going to help you make 100 grand in 15 minutes. And then the next day we're like, expect to spend the next 6 to 12 months in your business. Like, just doesn't make sense, right? And your audience will see that and pick up on that. And it makes it your life harder when it comes to actually trying to sell people offers. Because if you have a bunch of lead flow that is a lack of congruency, like a good real-time example of this is you have like the copy and paste marketers talking about, quick, easy, make all this money, remote job content, etc. And then they turn around and they find out they have to buy a $2,500 offer. They're like, hey, I came here because I don't have finances. Like, you have to think about trying to be congruent. And that's all I got for you guys today, right? Just a little bit of a tangent, a rant around how we need to fix our business. And I'm primarily making this because I see this too often, right? And I genuinely want folks to win online. It's like my biggest desire. And I watch people get in their way so much, it's not even funny. And I mention this because I did it myself for a very long time. Right? If somebody would have told me this when I was starting, I probably could have saved myself years of struggle, because I literally walked in circles for years. And then I was like envious of other people who were winning because they were doing all this cool shit and I wasn't. And it was like, it was me. It was because I was constantly doing this in my own business. So hopefully you got some value out of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. I do have some cool videos planned for the following days in my 100 videos in 100 days challenge. And I'll see you guys in the next one.